Hello and welcome to the Tarkus Zone. Thank you for joining me. Today we're playing the game Meet Your Maker, and I'm going to go over one of my outposts here that are going to be going into Master. It's this one here, this one right here that I've got highlighted here in the corner. It's about to go into Master, so it's only got about 10 Genmat left, and it will be done, and then I can put it in the social. But before I do that, I wanted to show you the stats on it. So this is going to be part of my Master series. I'm going to, anytime one of my buildings go into the Master status, I figured I'd do a quick video on it, just to showcase it. So in this case, it will be done by the time I end this video. It should be all Genmatted out. So let's look at the numbers. So it is a 10, or it's past, it's the full 10 level. So you get the 10th level, then you push it through that level, and then it's really, this is it. It's going to be the end of its life. And it got raid attempts at only 123 raid attempts, which I guess is okay. I mean, I would have liked to seen more, but it got raiders killed was 2,470. Which ended up being a kill ratio of 20.1 by the time the outpost is depleted. It seemed like 34 people had fun, and 64 people said it was brutal, 28 said it was ingenious, and 14 thought it was artistic. Now, when I built this thing, I was looking at the brutal, but remember, when we built this in a 60-minute video that I did a couple weeks ago, and I can link that below in the description. But I built this in a 60-minute video, and we called it the Arena. One of my YouTube subscribers said, Tarkus, why don't we do an open floor concept, try to put something together with an open floor concept and see if it will actually do well. And I basically built the video. I built the outpost in that video, and you saw me do it if you actually watched that video. And its success rate is pretty high. I mean, it did very well. Now, let's just look at the building real quick, and I can just point out a couple things. I mean, really what this is this building is about crossfire. When I originally made it, I thought I would do warmongers, but then when we tested the warmongers out, it just was a dirty type of combat, and they were running through the cubes, and it just was nonsense. So we, at that time, or I at that time, abandoned the warmonger, and I decided, let's just make it a shooting gallery, really. It's an open arena with crossfire shooting gallery. And when you come into this thing, you know, you've got a trap up here. This trap I added as I got more prestige. When I originally made this map, this wasn't here, and this one here wasn't here. I added these two after I was able to prestige it some. And then you come into this first hallway area, and you got a couple traps here, the bolt trap here, and the piston trap. Well, this little trap here, it's a hollow cube over a bomb injector, and that got a few people falling into that hole because there's a piston here. So they would just try to not get caught up with this piston, and they would just try to walk right this way, and they would get caught in that little trap. Plus, I put a inferno trap or an incinerator trap right there too. So if they went in here to destroy it, they'd fall. A lot of people fell victim to this pit. They really did. And then up here, I've got some monsters shooting down at them through this hallway. Now, they could try to blast through this way if this is what they wanted to do to get to this other hallway. I made that doable because if they come around this corner, I got some more bouncing Betty bomb injector up there and another inferno trap if they wanted to go the long way around. A lot of them did the skip over here. They just skipped through and they bypassed that. And then they come into the open room element of this build. And, you know, I put another pit in the middle here. I put some monsters flying around. Those sentinels that you see at the top, again, I added those two after I got some prestige. So early on, those weren't up there. I added those. And then this was opened at one time, and a lot of the guys were just running through here. So I closed that off to force the raider to either go in this direction or they could go in this direction. It's their choice. This direction was the easiest. When I looked at the film back, this was the easier way because you got more cover coming around this corner. whereas you're kind of open as you came around this corner. And then you come into this room here, which these sentinels that are in this room were here originally. And I think I added this bolt trap. And then you go in this direction to where the Genmat is, to the back room here. And then you go down a hallway, and it's right here. So these traps in here, got a few people. They're well spaced, because if you need to take out the incinerator, because the incinerator will get you all the way down here. So you had to time it right. So you'd have to be up here, you know, and time it right, and then try to run down here or shoot it to destroy it, and destroy this one at the same. It was the timing was somewhat perfect. So I got a lot of deaths right here. Same thing on this side. When they came around the corner, they'd have an incinerator in their face. After dealing, and then I also had this bouncing Betty trap, the bomb injector up here in the top. So that's really the arena. It did very well for me, and I was glad that we did this in the video. I'm glad that I built this on my YouTube channel and showed you in my video how I built this, and as you can see, you know, I changed it a little bit since, you know, day one, because I do that. I mean, I'll build something new, and I'll put it together and hope that it's what I want, and then I watch the playback, and then I massage it or adjust it a little bit. So just to recap on this base here, it should be now completely depleted, I'd imagine, at this point, if we're going to go back to looking at it. Just waiting for the game to chug along, and we should be able to go into the command center now and look that up. I imagine it's got oh no, it's still got 10 left. Wow, look at that. I would have thought that would have been used up by now. Harvey's not doing his job fast enough. Well, that's it, folks. I just wanted to do this video. Is going to be a series. I'm going to call it my master series of all the bases that go in the master, and do a quick video on them. All right, well, thank you for joining me. This has been the Tarkus Zone.